Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article comes to you guys from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this because this is getting very interesting, right? So for the first 2 quarters of this year, AT&T underspent about 1 billion versus last year on total capital or capex. So that has analysts worried just a little bit. Why is AT&T coming in a bit lower on its capital investment towards its network or overall, right, fiber network? And when are we expected to see that capex surge, right? They're going to have to spend big on this Nokia to Ericsson conversion. So according to AT&T, the ramp up is set to start in the second half of this year. So guidance indicates AT&T could invest up to 12.5 billion in the last 6 months of 2024 as it switches from Nokia to Ericsson. So yes, majority of that capex, the rest of the capex for the year, because they're going to come in at 21 to 22 billion, will go towards the Nokia to Ericsson swaps. Not all of it. They still got C-band to upgrade in Ericsson markets, and they still have fiber to deploy. So not all of that is going to go towards that conversion, but majority of it. So I want to say I would hate to live in the Nokia market and AT&T was my primary. I want to say that because I want everyone to understand this is going to be a clustered mess. In order for AT&T to realize the financial benefits, they have to get this swap done as quickly as possible. Once they get that done, they have everything initiated. Now they can start realizing the benefits and the cost savings of the swap. So they want to get this done, and they will get this done as fast as possible. Maybe the fastest swap we will ever see. Who knows, right? But they're going to invest a lot of resources specifically towards this. So this is going to get a lot of priority, like I said, a lot of resources. But at the same time, they are going to have to upgrade several sites at the same time, simultaneously. So that in itself is going to cause service disruption. And then at the same time, once they have all this Ericsson equipment in the market, they're going to have to optimize and retune. So that's going to be, while that's ongoing, right, you're going to have to deal with new sites that are being optimized. That at times leaves the network broken, not working, not performing as it should. So there's going to be some repercussions to this. I think AT&T understands that. I don't know if this is going to all of a sudden spike AT&T's churn tremendously. I don't think that'll happen. They already come in at the lowest churn in the industry at 0.7. You know what? If it goes to 0.75 or 0.77 because of this, that's not really a huge increase, right? So even if it even gets to that point, we got to keep that in mind. It might not even get there. It might stay the same. But just brace for impact if you're in the Nokia market. They're going, especially the ones that are more in the urban centers, the big PEAs that have a bit more site density versus just the cow fields, right? If they're going to do 6-7 sites at the same time in the same radius, that there's going to be some service interruptions. It's not going to work like it once did. But once it's all completed, once it's all optimized and you have that Ericsson equipment going, you're going to have the end result is expected to be a better performing network. And AT&T is expecting to be able to squeeze out more out of that one cell site. And that was also a part of the entire deal, right? Ericsson, better equipment, better wattage, better power levels, everything, right? So you can maybe reach indoors better, reach more customers, right? Without having to build additional cell sites. That was another way to performing more cost-cutting measures. Keep that in mind. Now, there are still things needed even after the macro deployment. So this is going to get very expensive. AT&T wants like 70-80% done by the end of 2026. I myself believe it's going to be 100% at the macro level. I think AT&T and sits maybe around 27, 28,000 sites across the Nokia areas. They're going to try to get 100% of that done by the end of 2026. Like I said, the quicker they get this done, the faster they can realize the benefits on the financial side. Now, there's still work to be done even after the macros. We have to keep that in mind. They still got IDAS, ODAS. They still have CRAN that are Nokia in those markets. So they're going to have to upgrade that to Ericsson equipment too. So that's going to linger on. That's going to be a process that's going to go beyond 2026. Now, I don't know how much capital they will allocate towards that, but that's going to have to happen too. And I don't think the time frame is just too short. Within the rest of this year, 25 and 2026, how can they do everything? There's not enough people to go around to touch all the macros, get all the CRAN, and get all the IDAS and ODAS. That's just too much. So they're going to have to move into 2027, 2028 perhaps to get all of the CRAN that are Nokia today upgraded in the DAS systems. So that's an additional expense. But like I said, if they want to reap the benefits of on the financial side, they're going to have to get this done as fast as possible. And they want to do that anyway because, like I said in the previous video, the Nokia equipment has gotten better. It's gotten better, but AT&T didn't pay to upgrade and continuously modernize that. So they just let sites sit around for a while with older Nokia equipment that they got onto the sites when they upgraded with FirstNet. And that's kind of been it. Yeah, they did get some C-band and DoD up and running in the Nokia markets, but they never really scaled it. So that lets me know they knew for a while now that they were going to do this Nokia to Ericsson swap. Maybe even like 2-3 years ago, they identified like, hey, we are going to do this, right? We've been in talks with Ericsson. This is what they could do for us. And then they sent the proposals in and they reached an agreement. So they kind of stopped upgrading the Nokia areas. I was asking about the New York boroughs, and they were telling me, Manhattan is getting some, but they never reached a high completion in those areas. It's mostly been Ericsson markets where they've been heavily focused on upgrading, where they're getting to very high completion in Ericsson markets, but not Nokia. So our answer was answered. Our questions were answered when they announced the Nokia to Ericsson swaps. So that will be ongoing, right? They're spending a 6-year high in the second half. So this is the highest capital that they will invest in the second half of the year in the last 6 years. So they're going all in. The Nokia to Ericsson conversions, they're going all in. Like I said, don't be surprised if you start experiencing service interruptions or your service doesn't work as it once did during that integration or swap, right? You're going to have to be patient with AT&T while they do this, but the result, it will be a better performing network once it's all done. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.